Shalom, shalom. This is a brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad with another edification, alright, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, so first and foremost, Kal Halayam La Alahayanawa Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Raka Kodash Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders, a great milestone that rule. Double salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching the truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat, which is the sisters that listening and learning. Alright, so the title of this edification, alright, is pray for spiritual endurance. Alright, pray for spiritual endurance. Alright, because you're gonna need it. We all gonna need it. Alright, and there is something for me to teach my own self on all too, Yeah, because you gotta teach yourself first. As Big Brother and the God does always, reiterate, he does always, push forth as an example, you gotta teach yourself first. But yeah, we're gonna need that spiritual endurance anytime in this time here that is coming up upon us, that is fastly approaching upon us. Alright, the things that is taking place in the world, alright, the things that is taking place in the world, the uproars of the people, the wars, the rumors of wars, the MOTB, the MOTB, alright, all these things is cause for us to pray for spiritual endurance in order to endure. Alright? In order to endure the wiles of the devil. I think there's a scripture pursuant to that. Let me see something. I think there's a scripture pursuant to that. Wiles of the devil, KJV. Yeah. This it's Ephesians 6, yeah man, it's Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. I think it's 10. Actually 11, but yeah, Ephesians 6 and 10, where it reads, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, alright, and in the power of his might, okay, of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, alright. And that devil there, it is actually speaking about a man, a particular man, a particular race, to be more exact, particular race of people, alright, which is the Edomites, alright, starting with the elites, the powers that be, alright. It says here, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Alright, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Alright, because this is a time where we're living in where, is an evilous time, a perilous time. Alright, because at the ending of it all, you know, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So, no more than ever, you know, we had to pray, we had to step it up even more. Alright, we who in the shoot here, you know, we had to step it up even more. As I say, I had to start with myself first, you know, before, you know, could teach it on to others. Something that I myself had to practice, you know, continue practicing, you know. Yeah, you had times, you know, the duty schedule and whatnot, so forth, and what, you know, yeah, duty schedule and whatnot, so forth, you know, it might slip you to pray and whatnot, so forth, and, you know, it might have things that could occupy your time, you know, but now is our time to be more focused on praying and fasting, you know, and just fellowshipping with the brothers, being in a spiritual mindset, you know. Basically, less of the flesh and more the spirit. All right, but in all, you're praying and asking the Lord, you know, supplication unto the Lord, you know, that you be able to endure. All right. Because remember, at the ending of it all, you know, is salvation we're looking forward to. All right, salvation we're looking forward for. And the scripture speaks about that is Peter. I think it's 2 Peter or 1 Peter, boy. I must say 2 Peter, 1 Peter, I mean. All right. I will start at verse 17. All right. 1 Peter 4:17, where it reads, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it first begin, all right, at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh?" All right. What shall the end of them be? For if the righteous scarcely be saved, and that's the point where I'm getting at here. If the righteous scarcely be saved, what shall the ungodly and the sinner? All right. When let me see. Where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? All right. Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh commit the keeping of their soul. All right. To him in well-doing as unto a faithful creator. So the point where I'm getting at, you know, the salvation we're seeking, all right? And with this thing called salvation, the righteous is scarcely going to be saved. All right? Scarcely going to be saved. So you had that spiritual fortitude, you know, we just say the testicular fortitude. You have to have that spiritual fortitude, all right, to be able to hold on, because, you know, the things that is about to take place upon the face of the earth, the things that is done already taken place, is just signs of showing you of what is to be expected, you know, what is to be expected that is really about to come. All right, and when I say what is to be expected, the ones who already in the know. All right, the ones that is already in the know. All right, because the scripture speaks of what? Let's go to Daniel. Take a look at Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. Daniel chapter 12 and 1, where it reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, all right, the great prince, which shall stand for the children of thy people." All right. Why, Lord? and there shall be a time of trouble, all right, a time of trouble such as was never since there was a nation, not even at that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. All right. So there's a time that is coming, a great and terrible time that is about to land upon the face of the earth, such as the earth has never seen. And we're seeing it. We're seeing the roads that is being made, all right, the MOTB, the disease and pestilence, the famine, all right, World War III, all right, a whole digital dystopian nightmare, all these things. And the thing about it is that all these things is going to be coming at once, all right. All these things is going to be coming all at once. You know, it's not going to have any let up. All right, as the scripture say, you know, the plagues draw nigh, and it is not slack, not for a moment. So what would your mindset be in that time? You know, especially the ones who not in this truth. And this is the reason why, you know, you had to pray for spiritual endurance, because the ones who is not in the truth, they're gonna crumble quick and fast. All right, they're gonna crumble quick and fast. All right, because they were never taught. They refused to be taught. They refused to hearken unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know, where they would be able to be under the wings of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know, and trod in this walk here with faith. All right, because this is what the spiritual endurance is all about, and it's all about faith, keeping that faith in that time, especially in that time. All right, because you ought to understand, when I go to Revelation 12 and 12. Revelation 12 and 12, it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down upon you, having great wrath, because he knew that he had but a short time. All right, and this is why everything is going to come all at once, because this man, you know, this man is hell-bent on his new world order and what have you, so forth. All right, this man is hell-bent on having his dominion, his rulership. All right, he thinking that he's going to rule forever, you know. So he's bringing all these mayhem because he know that he has a short time. He know that Yahweh Shai is about to make his return. All right, so he's going to bring all hell on earth, which is actually the Lord that is doing it, but the Lord is using him, the so-called white man. All right, you know, the elites that be, the powers that be of this world here, the 1% or the 1% of the 1%, as I just call them, you know. They are the ones that is unleashing all this mayhem upon the face of the earth, you know. And these things, you know, as it says, you know, there's a time as the earth has never seen. All right. So, what are you going to do in that time? All right. What are you going to do in that time? All right. There's a time where, you know, policies is going to be made, you know, laws is going to be made and whatnot, so forth. All right. Edicts is going to be pushed out, mandatory edicts, you know, all these things, you know, and people is going to, you see, it's a time where you're going to lose everything. All right, there's a time, this time that is coming up here, you know, all that, you know, you had and that you cherish and all of that, you know, is going to come to naught. Every single body, you know, Every single body is going to come to that. Is going to come to that standpoint in life where you're going to be brought to a lower state. But are you going to hold on to the world and by all means hold on to your possessions, hold on to this world, the vanity, the vexation of spirit or things, and just because you want to survive in this society? All right? Or are you going to seek Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and let him carry you on through, and endure to the end? Because at the ending of the day, the ending of it all is that this is the end. This is where you had to realize. All right? This is where you had to realize that this is the end. All right? This is the end. It has no more coming back after. What we're seeing right now, it has no coming back to a sense of normalcy as you may know it, or you may want it to be, as how you had experienced it in your form or whatever it is of normalcy. That time passed, all right? That time passed. All right? There's where it is here. That time passed, is a time now that is coming that is dreadful and terrible. All right? A time now where, heavy decisions is going to be made. That is why when still in the book of Revelation, that this now come to my head here, which is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, where it reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation which shall come upon the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right, so yeah, the time is coming where great decisions is going to be made. All right, and these decisions will be based upon where you want to stand. If you want to stand with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, or if you want to stand with the system, if you want to stand with the beast. All right, that is why the scripture says, 2 Esdras 14, 2 Esdras 14 and 13. 2 Esdras 14 and 13, where it reads, let's see this here, where it reads, now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from thee, all right? Let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, all right? Put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times, all right? Because at the end of it all, this is the end. This is the end. And the things of this world is the least that you should be studying. All right? What should be heavy on your mind is to keep that faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and endure. All right? Endure. Because, as I say, everything is going to be happening all at once. And these things, if you're not strong, in the mental, towards Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and what have you so forth, you're going to crumble. Alright? Verse 16, for yet greater evils than those, alright? For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done, alright, hereafter. So, yes, we throughout our lifetime, we saw a lot of evil stuff, but what is coming is nothing as we had ever seen. Alright? Nothing as we had ever seen. And to cap it all off, with all this, to cap it all off is that Third World War, with its climax being the nuclear warfare. Alright? That's the icing on the cake there, or the cherry on top, however you want to put it. These things. Alright? We're going to see a lot. We're going to go through a lot. We're going to go through a lot. Alright? We're going to go through things such as being put in concentration camps and what have you, so forth, being put in prison. Alright? Torture. Alright? All these things. Alright? We're gonna experience, some of us are gonna experience being brought before magistrates and what have you, so forth, being brought before judges and magistrates, because of our testimony of Yahweh Shai, or our belief, our stance of within Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all these things, because all these things are ready to test our faith. Alright? Because you have to understand, the whole high about this thing here is the kingdom of heaven, but we're not going to just walk into the kingdom of heaven just like that, as Christians may think, pursuant to their rapture doctrine and what have you, so forth, so like here, Not going to be like that. We're going to go through some serious persecution. All these things is what you have to put into consideration. The young brothers and sisters that coming into the truth here. All these are the things you have to put into consideration. Serious consideration. Give it serious thought. As the scripture talk about, come the course. See if come the course. See if you're really worthy of being in this thing here. Yeah? There's where it is. Great evils is going to come. As I say, we're going to be put into concentration camps on these things, brothers going to go through these things. All here in Trinidad too, you feel what that thing going to take place. They could grab up some of us and put us on black sites, out of the country. It do even necessarily have to be a next country. It could be put on a blasted ship out at sea. A black site, which is a ship black site out at sea, many miles away from Trinidad, right? And it be an open ocean, all right? No formal land near you, and you don't even know that you don't even know that you on the seas. All you know that is that you've been taken. They put a black bag over your head, all right, and the border, and you're out there, all right, and they're torturing the shit out of you. All right, they're beating the shit out of you, torturing you, whatnot, so forth. All in order for you, all in for what? For you to denounce your power, denounce your God. Well, they might even take some of us and tie weights upon us, bricks upon us, whatever, and throw us overboard, and let you do 2-3 hours that and the rest see to intimidate us, in front of the rest, to intimidate us, all these things. Because you have to remember, is a battle for supremacy, right? A battle for supremacy between Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and Esau. Alright? So there's things that the wicked will do just to persuade us away from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Alright, the scripture, when I go to Revelation, going back to Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10, where it reads, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer." Alright? "Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried." Alright? That ye may be tried. and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And this is why we have to pray for that spiritual endurance, because you're going to be going through things that, again, if you don't have a spirit of faith and you know, your mind is not right, you're not going to endure. All right, and the scripture speaks of what? The scripture speaks of Matthew 24. Let's go to that. Matthew 24. What the scripture told us? Matthew 24 and 13. All right, the scripture specifically told us, pursuant to Matthew 24 and 13, it says what? But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right? He that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. All right? That's what it is. Yeah? So that's why we had to pray for that time. Pray for us to endure at that time. All right? That's what it is here. Yeah? You sisters also, especially, because you are the weaker vessel. You know? You sisters also. You had this is going to be a real testing time for you all, too. A real testing time for you all. Especially you sisters that have children, you know, have young ones. Alright? Because there's going to be scenarios where they'll be torturing your children before you. Just for you to fool. Alright? None of us is going to escape this year. As in pursuant to the persecution, the trials. None of us is going to escape it. Alright? The scripture speaks of what? What did Yahweh speak to the sisters and said? I'll go to the blue letter, because I want that in red letter. I'll go to the blue letter Bible, in red letter, which is Luke 21. No, Luke 23 actually. Luke 23 and 26. I will start from 26. Luke 23:26, and it reads, and as they led him away, they laid hold upon one Simon, a Cyrenian, coming out of the country, and on him they laid the cross, that he might bear it after Yahushua. And there followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. But Yahushua turned. Yahushua turning unto them said, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me. All right? Weep not for me, but for yourselves and for your children. All right? Why, Lord? For behold, the days are coming in which they shall say, blessed are the barren and the wombs that never bear, and gave paps which never, and the paps which never gave suck. All right? This is what it is. Yeah? This is what it is here. All right? You women with children, you know, you're all going to endure some serious stuff. Some stuff that, you know, again, if you don't have that mental fortitude to see your child die before your eyes, to see your child being tortured to death, your child head being bashed in, I just paint some serious pictures, because you gotta understand who is coming up against you. You gotta understand that slavery was a perfect example. All what we had endured during slavery was a perfect example of what these people are willing and capable to do in this time here now. You understand? In order for you to denounce your power, in order for you to denounce your God and succumb to them, they will stop at nothing. There's nothing that is too immoral within their vocabulary, within their capacity. All right, they don't know anything about moral values, you know. Alright? They are immoral people, a bunch of immoral people, and they will do immoral things. Within a heartbeat or less than a heartbeat. Alright? There's where it is here. These are the pictures. These are the pictures that you know the Christian church wouldn't paint for you. These are the Christians that these is the pictures that certain Israelite camps wouldn't paint for you. Alright? They wouldn't paint such pictures. But there's where it is. There's what is coming. Yeah, this is what is coming. You understand? Luke 21. As I hear, Luke 21 and 32. I'll start from verse 32. Luke 21, 32. It says, Verily, I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Alright, and this is the thing here, you know. This is the generation that is going to be judged. Alright, this is the generation. This is the generation that is going to actually see the true wrath and true judgment of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai. We are that generation. Alright, we are that generation. Make no mistake about it. Alright? And this generation will not pass away until all be fulfilled. Plain and simple. So we're going to see. We're going to see it. Alright? Heaven and earth shall pass away, but not my words. But my words shall not pass away. Alright? I want to speak about heaven and speaking about the rulership of this earth. Alright? The rulership of this earth. Alright? So it says, verse 34, And take heed to yourself, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drinking and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the earth. Watch ye therefore. Yeah, watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be counted worthy, alright, worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and stand before the Son of Man. Alright, when you go to the NLT, it says, keep alert, alright, at all times, and pray that you might be strong enough, alright, pray that you may be strong enough, which is what the prayer of spiritual endurance, alright, to escape these coming horrors, and stand before the Son of Man. Alright? And it's this time that Yahushua is speaking about. It wasn't the time during the Romans, really. Yes, it was about, yes, he was twofold, but Yahushua was being really and truly prophesying for this time here. Alright, for this time here, because again, what is coming, you know, is going to eclipse what took place, you know, what we had also endured under the Romans, during the time of the Romans, and what have you so forth. You understand? There's where it is, man. Yeah? Philippians. Take a look at Philippians. Philippians chapter 1. Philippians chapter 1 and verse 19, it says, For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer. Alright? This was Paul speaking to the Philippians and to the Israelites in Philippia. Alright? So he said, For I know that this shall turn to my salvation. Alright? I'll start from verse 18. Alright, verse 18. Philippians 1 and 18. What then? Notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Hamashiach is preached, and I therein do rejoice, yea, and will rejoice. For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer, all right, and the supply of the Spirit of Yahushua Mashiach, according to my earnest expectation and my hope that in nothing I shall be ashamed, but that what? But that with all boldness as always, so now also a Mashiach shall be magnified in my body, whether it be by life or by death. All right, and this is the mindset that we're supposed to carry coming and going into these times, you know. Yeah, this is the mindset that we ought to carry. Yeah, this is the mindset that we ought to carry. You understand? Matthew 26. Going back to Matthew 26. Matthew 26 and 41. All right, Matthew 26 and 41, it says what? Watch and pray. All right, this is what Yahushua told the disciple. I think it was Peter. All right. Yeah, Peter and one or two others. Some there, Peter. Yeah, Peter. All right. I can't remember who was the next two that was at him. I think it was a three. Yeah, and two sons of Zebedee. And the two sons of Zebedee. All right. So it says here, going straight to the point, Matthew 26, 41. It reads, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. All right. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right. And this is why, you know, we had to pray for that spiritual endurance. Because remember, we in this weak flesh. All right. We in this weak flesh. And this man, he's all about the flesh. Esau Edom I'm speaking about. All right. So he would come with many full temptations, you know, in order for you to please the flesh, in order for you to satisfy the flesh, in whatever way it may be. All right, in order to ease the burden of the flesh, he would come with all sorts of temptations. All right. What a time you're living in. What a time you're living in. You can tell her that. What a time we're living in. Alright? But hey, let's take a look at Job. Almost finished with this here, with this edification here. Job 5 and 17. I believe it's 17 or 16. 17. Job 5 and 17, it reads, behold, happy is the man whom Yahweh correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. For he maketh sore and bindeth up, he woundeth and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, 7. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee, from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither thou shalt be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and that thou shalt visit thy habitation, and shall not sin. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thine offspring as the grass of the earth. Thou shalt not come to thy grave in a full age, like as a shock of the corn cometh in his season. Lo, this we have searched it, so it is. So it is, hear it, and know thou it for thy good. You know, so we have to come to the understanding of the assurance of the salvation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but we have to pray for endurance. We have to pray for endurance. Yeah? This is where it is. And I would leave with this last scripture, which is 2 Corinthians 6:1. 2 Corinthians 6:1, where it reads, "We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of Yahweh in vain. For he said, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the acceptable time. Behold, now is the day of salvation." And this is what we're looking for, because it's fastly approaching. Alright, it's fastly approaching. Take a look at all what is taking place in the earth today, in the world today. Take a good look. Take a good look. Know for a surety that there is no normalcy to come back. No sense of normalcy. No false sense of normalcy. But only mayhem and chaos, anarchy, tribulation, perilous times. Alright? So I hope you all are edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is a brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp signing out. Alright? Saying Kal Halayam La Alahaya Nawa Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders, a great millstone that rule well. Double salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching the truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedom to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat. The brother Kahan signing out, saying shalom, shalom, shalom.